But look at the video game culture, Marcus. All these young men of today are now spending 4, 5, 8, 10 hours a day.
Do they really play for that long? I mean, the majority. Do they really play for that long? A study shows us that the average playtime for most gamers is about 8 to 20 hours a week. So at most around 2.5 to 3 hours a day. Which, if you ask me, sounds pretty low for a massive amount. So, coming from experience and asking our fellow playmates, I can average everyone's playtime to be around 36.4 hours a week. So, between 5 to 5.5 hours a day. Though, information like this can just be divided into days. People will play more on their holidays than their work days. So, on their work day, they can play for 3 hours, and on their days off, they can play for like 7 hours, for example. Also, where did this 9 hours a day come from? It seems to me that you're just pulling these numbers out of your asses.
With consoles on their head, or comms, or whatever they call it. Play video. Shooter games, bro. Their fucking minds are mush.
No, it doesn't. Research have proven that the side effects of playing video games are having increase in reaction speed, awareness speed, and, well, other type involving those stuff.
It's beyond. If it was, let's put it this way: if we turned that what we just talked about and said that it was took the subject out, but gave all the symptoms and said that it was a disease that was spreading virally throughout the United States or the world, and said that Jesus, you guys got to be careful because it's in the air, and there'd be people fucking wearing gas masks and whatever because of how bad that is.
I hate how you assume that we already agree with your statement that games are bad without giving us supporting evidence. Like, there's not even a room for argument whatsoever. Anyway, if the side effects of gaming are turned into life forms that when infected will lead to humans having the reflection speed of Faker, then I'll be booking a flight to where these things are faster than you can say, well, you get it.
But because we say it's it's male oriented, and then we'll stick on men for now. But because it's not a medical condition, nobody thinks it's a big deal. And if worse, they enable it by saying, yes, the more you do, the better it is. Yeah, don't become any type of alpha anything because you're a bully then and you're a fucking asshole. Well, I'm sorry, man.
Nothing that you state before have led me to believe that it is bullying or being an asshole to not play video games. Gaming is like any other hobby. Unless you're the type of person who hates others for enjoying hobbies you're not into, then that's on you, because you're an asshole to begin with. This is pretty much strawmanning the gaming community to look like a bunch of assholes. As for what you said earlier about gamers not being alphas and they don't want to be one, who are you to say that? It's not fact that they're gamers that they're not assertive. It's them as a person that they're not assertive. I mean, more than 60% of Americans identify themselves as gamers in 2018, and around 60% of Americans are married. So there's at least 1/3 of gaming community that are married. Then take out the maximum of 30% of gamers that are below the age of 18. We can say that at least 47% of gamers that are above the age of 18 are married. Does gaming have anything to do with it? I doubt it. Do I have proof to support that claim? I don't. But from my experience with women, I'm pretty sure that it doesn't.
I see it, man. I see it all around the world. Even with the group of people that are usually drawn towards what I do for a living.
Tyler 1 looks mighty fine to me. Ackman as well. What's your problem with them being part of the gaming community?
So if you walk down the street, walking the streets of Colombia versus downtown Fort Worth or in China, it's the same fucking thing. It is all over the world, brother. It is an epidemic that I don't know what the answer will be because it is vast.
Again, you haven't stated why it's bad. You say it's a symptom that people would want to avoid, but you never say what the symptom is.
So
you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I'm glad you agree with me. And obviously, and by the way, for the listening audience, Marcus and I have not talked about this at all. So it's funny that he shares the exact same viewpoint as me. But Marcus is a very experienced world traveler, and he sees culture everywhere. So he knows. So like when he says that it's an epidemic, folks, now you know it's not just me. I mean, people like me that have conscience like me and see what's going on.
And people like me who did research know that what you said so far has all been fucking wrong.
Hey, bro, honestly, I truly believe, and obviously I had Cam Adair on my podcast, and he created this group. You and him would be awesome too. It's called GameQuitters.com. He was a gamer, and he woke up, bro.
Cam isn't just a gamer. He's an addicted gamer who wasn't well in the head. 90% of gamers know that dropping out of school to play video games is a batshit crazy idea. This isn't video games' fault, it's his fault for not being able to prioritize his life. It's not like drugs addiction, where once you take them, it fucks with your dopamine receiver, making you unable to drop it. Addiction to video games come from being unable to control their desire to enjoy something, which isn't mostly caused by the dopamine receiver, by the way. And these are the people game creators are trying to help. Not the majority, reasonable and responsible gamers who know how to balance out their lives. It's not a pandemic, it affects around 10% of the world. Look, if you're using Cam addicted state to represent the majority of gamer, then you're misleading the audience.
And now he's a badass dude. He lives out here in SoCal. He's a surfer. But he's like, he travels the world lecturing about this. He has like 400,000 people subscribe to his community now, like who are leaving gaming and getting out of it. But bro, it is what you said it is. It's literally the greatest threat to masculinity / men.
Addiction is bad for us, I agree to that extent, but that doesn't mean that video games are a threat to the human race, you fucking idiot. If you're going to say that, then you're going to have to include sports addiction. That is literally killing people. Does that mean sports are a threat to human race? Of course not. What about porn addiction? It makes your right arm looks like the Hulk, or your left arm looks like a character from Diary of the Wimpy Kid. Not the main reason why porn addiction is bad, but you get the point. Well, does that mean that porn is a threat to the human race? Fuck no. You see, addiction on anything is bad. That's why we consume only moderate / healthy amounts. The problem isn't video games, it's the individual not being able to prioritize his life because they let their hobbies get the better of them. Let's look at it this way. If video games are guns, sold for the purpose of sporting, and it's sold to an unstable humans, and weeks later, that individual shot himself in the chest. Accidentally. I don't know how, but he managed to do it, which resulted in his death. Who's the one at fault? The gun company, or the dumbass that sold him the license to the gun? By the way, this is totally a made-up situation, not made to vilify the firearms industry whatsoever, since a situation like this is rarer than finding a diamond while digging around your backyard. Just because something has a small chance of causing harm, doesn't mean that we shouldn't allow it to be used. Remember the prohibition? That's what happens when choices are taken away from the citizens.
On the planet, because Marcus, not only does it suck their soul away, lose their drive to do anything. They don't even have sex with women.
No, they don't.
Oh my god! My sides! You don't know shit about gamers, do you? Suck their soul away, lose their drive, never have sex? Oh my god! What the fuck? Where did you get this shit from? Oh my god. Alright, listen up, buddy. The decision of whether or not I want to stick my dick in someone or whether or not I want someone to stick their dick in me is up to me, okay? Being a gamer has nothing to do with it. I don't have to be a gamer to be a virgin, and I don't have to not be a gamer to not be a virgin. Alright? Oh my god. Oh, this is so fucking funny. About losing the drive part. Being a gamer actually inspires a lot more people, you know? Like, inspires people to look out to the world, like, you know, games like World War II stuff. It inspires people to look into history and learn a lot more about history. I mean, that's what World at War Call of Duty did. I mean, that was a lot of history and stuff. I mean, even Black Ops 1 with the Reznov inside of that prison mission. What was it called again? Oh yeah, it's been so long. Anyways, so yeah, it influenced a lot of people to live their lives lively more too. It opens up the world and shows them a lot of viewpoints. It gives a lot of inspiration. I still can't get over the not have sex part. That shit is so fucking stupid.
Or they'll live vicariously through a game with regards to that subject, which I don't care what anybody says. Nothing beats the real thing. So you can have virtual whatever you want, but the minute virtual becomes better than flesh, something's really fucking. There's really a big fucking problem.
Sounds like you're confusing the gaming community with the anime community. So I just want to point out that these two communities are two separate communities. Just because you like games doesn't mean you have to be an otaku. Just because you're an otaku doesn't mean you have to be a gamer. And I also will criticize your opinions on 2D waifus, because, well, that's what they are. Opinions. You can't convince someone that hates oranges to just all of a sudden like them.
Yeah, dude, let me ask you, so where's it going? So they're creating, obviously, an army of zombies. They're trying to brainwash all of the planet by playing video games. And you just kind of intimated it with the virtual shit. Yeah. I mean, are they ultimately trying to create human beings that are fucking half robot, like Autobots?
Well, who the fuck are they? The game devs? You know that the person in control of them is the consumer, right? The gamers? Us? The moment the devs pull some shit that we don't like, it's them that took the fall, not us. Look at the sales for Battlefield 5 pre-orders, where they tried to be political. That shit sucked so fast I couldn't even close my eyes on it.
Well, it's just, the history has shown that the easiest people to collect are the weakest-minded people. Right. And the more you give somebody the impression that they're not taking anything from it, as a matter of fact, here, give you, just don't think about it. Just here, take, don't think, take, don't think.
They're not taking anything away from us. Dude, we pay actual money for these games. It's not a free service like tissue boxes in front of the store. We're paying for them to entertain us. And if we don't think that what they're selling is entertaining to us, we can choose not to buy them. I mean, that's what game reviews are for, right? The Angry Joe Show, Before You Buy, other trustworthy reviewers. We're not obliged in any way, shape, or form to buy these games if we don't want to play them. I mean, if they're not fun, why would we buy them? We're not fucking minions.
It's a type of cancer that you can't cut it out. You can't give radiation to it. It becomes cellular in its behavior, and then it becomes. And I'm a comic book geek, so for those who are comic book, it's like a symbiote. Okay, it's like a symbiote, kind of like Venom and Carnage and all that shit. The minute it gets into your cells and gets a hold of you. Well, fuck, dude, you need to sonic blast the shit out of that. Now, do that on hundreds of millions of people, and it just ain't gonna happen. So
the symbiotes are a good example that contradicts every statement you made so far. If you read about Agent Venom when he went off to outer space to the symbiote's home planet, you'll find out that the symbiotes aren't villainous type of species at all. I mean, when they're attached to the right host or purified, when it's attached to the wrong host, well, carnage happens. But usually, normally, they're not villains. They're not villainous type. They're actually cool Agent Venom-like types. I mean, if you're representing games like this, it's like, if you know how to play games, if you know how to balance out your life, then nothing's gonna happen. Then you're the right host for gaming. But if you're really unstable, if you're, well, really easily addicted, then you're gonna turn into carnage. Like, it's simple as that. Well, there's a lot of precautions that can help you from doing this, like friends around you to tell you to not play, like parents not allowing their kids when they're not mature enough to play. Like, there's a lot of things stopping you from turning to carnage instead of just turning into like a casual symbiote like Agent Venom.
To be honest with you, I've reversed my thought process on it. I'm no longer. I look at people around and I'm like, okay, you're a fucking idiot who likes to sit in front of a game all day. Okay, that's your thing. I'll give you a taste of what you could do instead. Don't want it? Good. I'm not going to waste my time on those that don't. I'm going to invest the time for people who are lost and need some type of guidance to go and become whatever version of them is best.
Yeah, sure. Sounds like a great idea. Stop spreading false information about gamers and just focus on helping those people. There's a lot of people who can't get off gaming and who really needs to get off gaming. I mean, there's even more people who doesn't need it, but for those who need it, yeah, be there for them. Help them. Just stop spreading false information about us and do that.
That's not being on a fucking couch spending 15 hours a day playing fucking some bullshit game and eating shit food and the only exercise is getting up, taking a piss, and coming back.
And you're back to insulting and stereotyping gamers. Great, just when I thought you were actually going to say something that makes sense, you've gone back to stereotyping us. Great. Look, the average work hour per week in America is around 8 hours a day. Factor in at least 7 hours of sleep, then you have around 9 hours a day to do as you please. And the average playtime for most gamers is officially known to be 2.5 to 3 hours a day. So whoever it is that you're citing that plays 15 hours a day, he sounds like a minority that shouldn't be used to represent the majority of the community. To me, it looks like the person you're citing is the guy with no life from South Park episode Make Love, Not Warcraft. And FYI, he's a joke character made to make fun of. He's not real, he's a stereotype gamer. Stereotype, yes, as in not actual stereotype. Like, what the fuck am I trying to say? Anyways, the point is, no one wants to be like him. People, gamers, they strive to be like Faker, Ninja, Frodan, Pokimane, this guy's toast, Rags, Tyler1, Ackman, Cetogelion, PewDiePie, so forth. These are the ideal gamers, and what the majority of gamers supposedly act like. Not this stupid straw man you build up.
Fuck that.
I think you're right. I mean, I think that the ultimate overriding goal, you know, who's ever calling the shots, the elites, the puppeteers, whatever it is behind the scenes, they are trying to create a weakened society.
Oh, without a doubt.
People that have no drive, no ambition. I mean, bro, I talk about this all the time. I mean, I have a lot from my real estate company, we interview a lot of these younger guys, and it's like, my sales director, George Cordova, and I, we have a rule now. And that's like, and they don't know this, but I'm kind of giving it away on the show right now. But like, if when I ask them if they're a gamer, if they say anything more than 1 hour a day of video games, they're off, they're gone.
Yeah.
Bro, they live in a holographic reality when they're playing video games.
Yeah.
The phrase "living in that world" is a pretty extreme term to use for measuring the amount of immersion that a game gives. Most people would use the term to emphasize the immense level of immersion that the game gives us. I mean, when people say that a horror movie gave them a heart attack, they don't literally mean they gave them a heart attack! But that doesn't seem to be the case when you say this. Yes, when people play video games like Battlefield 1 or the COD campaigns at World at War, they are looking to immerse themselves into the game World War II scenario so that they can experience the horrors and combat war. But that's all there is to it. Experience. Immersion does not equal living. Even if it equals living, no one wants to live in the World War II scenario. It's a replicated experience, not a replicated life. Also, with games like Sea of Thieves, they do things called roleplay. It's acting for the sake of entertainment, not living out their lives in the game. Same with World of Warcraft, Soul Worker, or any other MMO type games. It's an immersion experience, not a replacive of life experience, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, and their belief system is skewed because of what they're doing every day becomes a reality.
The fuck are you on about? Our belief system? That's such a vague statement. I can say that eating durian for the first time will obscure my belief in hot dogs, and that would be true. Because everything that we do in our lives will affect our belief system, no matter how big or small the scale is. As if for any negative effects on our belief system, there's none. I mean, some idiot will play FPS and think that it's okay to shoot people, but that's not a game's fault, is it? Because it's not meant for those kind of people in the first place. The M for mature on the cover means that it's made for people who can think properly. People who understand what he should and shouldn't do. That's why people at GameStop ask for your ID when you go buy games. The only way for kids to play these games is if the parents think that their child is mature enough to. As for online downloads, who the fuck gave their kids a credit card number? They shouldn't even be able to buy stuff online, and even if they are able to buy these games without the parents' permission, they have to use their credit card, which, by the way, will send a notification to their parents' phone, making the parents know of their, purchase. So, yeah, basically there's a lot of countermeasures to stop kids who aren't supposed to play video games from playing it, which makes it utterly impossible for them to get the game by themselves. Unless some irresponsible parents, who knows that their kids is unstable and still let them play, then the one at fault here is the parents for not doing their job of regulating their video games. At this point, if you still don't agree, maybe you should be more concerned about the porn industry.
Listen, if every day I smashed my head against the wall, and I did it every day, 15 hours a day, every day, and you came by and said, well, you shouldn't do that, but I get enjoyment from it because the feedback from that headbutt is something that makes me feel good about myself, and I'm like, well, dude, just cracking your head open, you're going to fucking end up dying in a year. No. Well, fuck, man. How do you beat that? How do you beat that? So
that is an absolutely inaccurate comparison. You see, gaming doesn't damage you in any big, noticeable, impactful way. Scientific studies support this claim, and claims that do support the statement that games cause harm are directed towards the addiction side of it. Which, again, isn't a video game's fault. It's your fault for not being able to get a hold of your life. It's your fault for not being responsible for your life. It's not the chemical like meth that makes you addicted to games. It's your bad sense of priority. If 60% of Americans can handle it, but you can't, then I'm sorry. Then gaming's not for you.
Instead, fuck it. Give them the opportunity. They fuck it up next. Because the good news is out of, I'm just gonna pull a number out of my ass. Out of it.
Really? I mean, really? You just noticed? Everything you said so far has been coming out of your ass.
100 fucking retards of these fucking sheep that are just zombies ready to get slaughtered. There's one or two that can be grabbed and been like, okay, you can now become whatever the version is of yourself that's going to make something, you're going to make this planet better.
Gamers never do anything to make the planet better. You didn't say that, but I'm sure that's what you mean. Alright, just ignore the fact that Ninja raised $2.7 million worth of charity. Alright, just ignore the fact that Gitz got to go to TennoCon in 2018 and had the time of his life by getting to voice an in-game character. Also, don't forget to ignore the fact that games have revolutionized science and technology. I mean, no one cares about those big events that save people, right? Yeah, no one cares about those, right? Gaming's never done anything for the world at all, right? I mean, I could probably come up with 1,000 more better reasons than this. But yeah, no one cares about those, right?
And I'm being fucking 2. It's more like half of 1 out of 100. Because we're losing, man. We're losing. You can't beat the system that is set up.
Oh, don't blame this on the system. It's not a system that you can't beat. It's a scientific studies and evidence that you can't fucking beat or even look at. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You even said it yourself. You make this stupid story that gamers are mindless zombies that follow a leader like a hive mind without even knowing yourself if there's even a leader in the first place. I get it. You want to make the world a better place by talking about this problem. Sure, do it, but make sure to get your facts right when you do, or else people are gonna misunderstand and think gamers are actual assholes.
How much, and I don't know where it was. Oh, I was at a seminar, a guy named Lieutenant Grossman.
Lieutenant Dave Grossman. Have you been living under a rock? His claims has been debunked and dissected into pieces by channels on YouTube and other sources on the internet. You would not want to use him as a reference for anything related to games. Anything other than video games I would recommend him, but definitely not anything gaming involved. I'm not going to go to the topic of violent video games is bad or anything this time. A lot of channels have done it better, so I'll just link like 2 videos that has been dissecting these stuff for a while now. So look in the description if you want to see those stuff.
And he deals with, fucking serious topics, and he was talking about how, and he doesn't use the word shooter, active shooter, he uses active killer, which I'm going to go with too. But all these active killers that have happened over the last several decades, and their tie-in with the gaming is so parallel. Now,
no, it's not. Even the APA and psychologists agree with me on this one.
Fucking go off on a tangent on it, but when your eyes are open, you're like, well, fuck, man. Holy shit, that's actually true.
Your eyes are open. Give me a break. You haven't done shit research on this. You just listen to people and not cite anything important at all. If you did some research, then you would know. It's a fact that there's no link between video games and violent tendencies. It's a fact that video game sales rate increase as youth crimes goes down. It's a fact that video games help develop the brain's response time rather than increase it. These things have been proven already. I did the research and I can confirm that my eyes are open and yours are still shut inside your bubble of enclosure.
Now, what if these fucking idiots who are active killers doing this stupid shit, would they have done that shit anyways? Oh, fuck, maybe. I don't know, and I don't care.
Well, I should have just ended the video here. You don't know shit about this stuff.
But if you're telling me that if I keep eating this fucking purple carrot and it's going to fucking make me become a fucking idiot and stab 50,000 people and shoot another 100,000 people, then don't eat the fucking carrot. Right. How do I get rid of the carrot? Yeah. Anyways.
If someone told me that, and later on I did research and found out that more than 93% of people who eat that purple carrot is doing fine, and that the carrot is also very tasty, along with the research that the carrot has nothing to do with those thousands of people killed, then yeah, I would eat it. Again, a video disproving the idea that video games cause violence in the description.
Well, no, I mean, it's a good point, because I think that the bigger picture is the lifestyle that you maintain to support playing 8+ hours of video games a day.
It's living off your parents, because you're fucking loser.
I'd rather be a loser that does research than a hunk of muscle that doesn't know how to read English.
What you're talking about, which is becoming fat, sexless, low testosterone, no drive, no ambition, like you said, leeching off of family members, totally unproductive, you don't make money, you don't have a family. I mean, it's just...
In order for your claim to make sense, unemployment rate in the US has to be increasing as video game sales rate rises. So yeah, as you can see, the US unemployment rate has been plummeting. So yeah, your claim does not make any sense. I'll try to calculate the percentage of gamers that are employed. So as you can see, around 60% in a sample of 253 million people during 2016 are employed, which is the same percentage as marriage rates. So a minimum of 51% of gamers with age above 18 are employed. I repeat, a minimum. During 2016, now that the unemployment rate is lower than ever, this number should be even higher. This information contradicts with your statement by a long shot. Also, you say that we call people who don't play video games losers, even though that's basically not true except for trolls. Yet, you call us losers. You're stooping at the same level as the straw man you built here, guys. Don't do that.
Bro, honestly, it's truly gotten to the point. I mean, you probably know this, and we talked about this on the podcast, but dude, a lot of these kids, beyond actually now sitting in their basements or their parents' basements doing it, they now group up together and they go to stadiums and coliseums and pay to watch other kids play video games.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the part where you say, I'm just kidding, this video is a troll, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I was wrong. You are serious about that statement. God damn it.
And where'd you get the money for that? Oh, yeah, sorry. You didn't work for it.
Where did a teenage girl get their money to Popstar concert, huh? Huh? You told me that. You say kids, but you're also referring to grown-up that is above 18 too, don't you? Pathetic. They do spend their working money on it. Money they work so hard for so that they can see their team play on stadiums, in person. You know why? Because they care about those teams. They have passion towards gaming the same way sports fans have passion towards their favorite sports team. Insulting this is the same as insulting a sports fan for going to watch the Arkansas Razorback play live. I would really love to have an argument with you with this. Come to my Twitter. Come on, I fucking challenge you to this. I can encourage you to this. I really want to fucking wipe the floor with you in this argument.
If somebody came up to me and said, well, I work 3 jobs, so every time I get a chance to not work, I'm on a fucking gaming thing. Well, you know what, buddy? Okay, at least I can fucking respect that.
That is the majority mindset of gamers, you fucking idiot.
Go to it, but you don't work, and you're lazy shit, and your ambition is to get to the next level of some fucking bullshit game. Well, I'm sorry, man. Life's too fucking short.
Oh, really now? Life is short? Oh yeah, don't you dare fucking talk about a short life while you clog yourself within your little bubble of information, accusing people of things they have never done. You fucking hypocrite! Well, I'm sorry that you're too stupid to do some research on your own. May I introduce you to this test called the GED so that you can know the basics of living? Because I'm sure your education level is leagues below this, you fucking retard. I mean, if a kid on the internet who just graduated high school can see through your bullshit, I think you should really consider going back to high school and learn social studies and how to do fucking research.
And it sucks that it's wasted. What is it? Youth is wasted on the young, or isn't it some fucking saying? It's true. All these guys have I would give anything to go back, be fucking 19 or 18 with the shit that I know now. Fuck yeah. Holy shit. So that'd be awesome.
Final word from you on that subject. Whose fault is it?
Well, you have to give the parents a slap in the head. Now, right. Unfortunately, parents, in the history of parents, your age, my age, parents we usually live off of our parents' information. So if they were shitty parents, and then there's a trickle down effect. It takes a conscious effort to change things. So parents now are like, fuck, man, I got this kid that's ADD, ADHD, fucking retard, loser, fucking idiot who doesn't want to do anything. How many times are you going to fight with them? You can fight with them as much as you want. It's like that adage that I've said a million times. Do you know how to get ketchup out of a bottle? 2 ways. You slap it or you stab it. Those are the only 2 ways to get ketchup up.
Third option, use a plastic container.
Okay? So after a little bit of time, you get fucking burnt out on trying to slap or stab your kids to get off their ass.
Right.
And when you have 18, 19, 20-year-old kids who are like, well, it's not my fault, it's my parents' fault. Fuck you. I call bullshit. It's on you. You're a lazy sack of shit, and you don't want to do any better because it'll fucking be painful for you. So get off your fucking ass and do something, lazy shits. So I say it has to go with the kids, though. Parents are a little responsible. It has to go with. We have to have accountability on ourselves, right? Jay, if you fuck up, it's your fault. If I fuck up, it's my fault. Can't blame the fucking world. Individual accountability.
That last statement is contradictory to your first one. If the parents are shitty, then the kids are shitty. Yeah, that's correct. So when the kids grow up to the age of 19, their arguments become invalid. What? What are you talking about? If the kids grow up to be a bad person because their parents are a bad person and act as a bad role model, then I don't know who else to blame. The kid grew up in a bad example of how to live his life, so when he's older, he doesn't know how to live his life morally correct. This fits it's the parents' fault argument situation really well. A kid's personality is from the many factors. Parenting plays a big role in this. If you spoil the kid too much, then the kid might grow up to be a selfish jerk. If you don't give your kid enough affection, then they might feel unwilling to socialize. The point is, the level of a jerk the kid is during adolescence is dependent on parenting during his early stages of life. Well, to a certain extent, that is. How much is the parents' fault depends on them. If the parents were loving and properly regulating games, then the kid's at fault for being an immature brat if he commits a crime in the future. If the parents are abusive and poorly take care of their child, which results in the kid being an asshole when he grows up, then the parents are definitely to blame for this. Your ketchup example can be taken in a lot of ways. Why is the ketchup stuck in the first place? Why did you use a plastic container? Why is the ketchup frozen solid? These things can be avoided if the ketchup is probably taken out before you use them or when you first purchase them. Like kids, the reason why they're so stubborn and hard to get out of the bottle now is because you didn't properly take care of them when they were younger.
I'm really lucky that I don't have sons. Obviously I have an 8 and 10-year-old daughter, and they're growing fast.
A girl can turn out to be a social media freak, like how boys can turn out to be a basement gamer. You see, if you're talking about the worst scenario, then boys and girls both have it tough.
Monica did have 2 sons. I'm kind of involved in the oldest one's life, and he's definitely now, he still plays too much, but he's productive. He works for us. He's
right.
a good real estate agent. So,
Oh, yeah. It's like the amount of games that he played doesn't affect his career path whatsoever. Who knew? Well, I did, but stop talking about this as if he's like a 1 in 100 or something. He's the majority of gamers. Clearly, you're setting the bar of too much, way too high.
Like you said, there's always hope, but I do agree. I think that there is some fault in parents. But as you said, the hustle is so intense today to put food on the table, to pay the bills, to put the roof over the kid's head, that we can't be there all the time to make sure that they're not playing video games. So you're right. It comes down to their choice.
It's down to them. Jay, listen, my mom was a fucking alcoholic, okay? My mom worked 2 jobs and was an alcoholic, and she was the worst mom on the planet, okay? And I didn't appreciate the stuff she did until she bit the dust. But at the end of the day, my fuck-ups as a teenager, every shitty thing I did was not her fault.
I'm sorry to hear about your mother, but did you know you were a piece of shit when you were a kid? I mean, were you aware that you were doing this stuff wrong? Like, were you aware that you were being a bad kid when you do it? Because if you weren't, then yeah, that's your mom's fault for not teaching you that you're not supposed to do that. And if you were aware of it, and you still do it either way, then that's on you.
On me, I was the piece of shit. So I can't blame parents on her. I shine light on the parents, but if somebody's asking me right now, well, whose fault is it, or whose responsibility? It's their fucking kids' responsibility. Theirs, and they fucking know better. I call bullshit when you tell me, I don't understand that I'm a fucking loser.
Whose job is it to teach the kid morale? If a 13-year-old kid steals something while knowing that stealing is wrong, whose fault is that, huh? The kid isn't born knowing that stealing is wrong,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. That's why you hide in your little fucking basement, because if you shine the truth on you, you fucking would crumble.
I assume that you are referring to how the kid hides his crimes when they commit them. If that's the case, then yeah, the kid's at fault. I can't argue with that. But that's not where people would use the "it's the parents' fault" argument. They are talking about how the parents openly let their child play an M-rated game when their kids are still not mature enough to comprehend the meaning of it. A lot of people are able to control their temptation as of right now because of how mature they were when they started gaming. But as kids that know nothing better, they will suck up every behavior they see, even the bad behaviors like being addicted to games.
And there it is. Spoken from only one guy that I know who says it all. Bro, man, I mean, like, we should actually do a radio show.
Oh, yes. Please do. Give me more free content to debunk. Sounds like a great thing to do.
I mean, there's people that, have the essentially the authenticity that you have.
Nah, they're just not as dumb as you are.
To speak like you do, and again, that's why I love you for it. I mean, I agree with everything you said, and just we'll end on it on the point that you said. At the end of the day, bro, people like us, we know the most important thing, and that is it's always a choice.
Were you able to choose which parents you are going to be born from? Were you able to choose how your parents are going to raise you? Were you able to choose the society in which you're going to be raised on? You see, there's a lot of uncontrollable factors here. Our so-called common sense of what is right and what is wrong is taught to us when we were a kid by our parents. If our parents are immoral, then we'll grow up with an immoral standard, which may result in a lot of negative thoughts and feelings.
And you said it, and so many people in our society today are fucking victims. They all have a victim mindset. Every single one of them. But you are ultimately responsible for who you are.
Yeah, stop sucking each other's dick already.
Yep, you 100%.
You are a product of your choices and the decisions that you made. And if you're going to fucking blame other people for your choices and decisions, then you know what? You're a victim.
Yep. And then go play in traffic. Because the problem is being a victim is again, I use the cancer one because cancer is a fucking nightmare. And the victims are like, oh, woe is me, and I'm going to pull as many people in with me because I don't want to be a miserable victim on my own. I'm going to be other victims, and then other victims get together, and then you have a mass amount of fucking whiner and complaining little fucking bastards. And then when you comment to them, oh, you're a bully, you're mean to me. No, fuck you. It's your fault. Get off your ass and do something, lazy shits.
Are you commenting on some sort of situation? I mean, yeah, gamers can come together and discuss a lot of things, but I don't think whining is the right word. I think criticizing should be the right word, because, well, what you said here is all been stupid. Like, I doubt anyone would, like, not criticize that. Like, all these stuff you claims has been debunked and factorized. Is that a word? Nah, I'm making that a word. All these things you say are all wrong. Of course people would complain about that. I mean, gamers come together and share ideas, like, a lot of the time. Like, that's what Discord's for, right? I mean, people calling you a bully, I really doubt that, because, well, you're an idiot. No offense, but I'm taking offense at you. I mean, oh, I get it. You're talking about kids. You're basing the whole entire 99% of the community on the small percent of kids. No, kids below the age of 13. If that's the case, like, kids above age of 15 probably know responsibility and stuff, but you're probably basing it on that, which is like 15 of the gaming community. Dude, are you a fucking idiot or something? You're basing more than, like, all of the community based on this fraction of community. I don't know what else to say. You're an idiot for doing this.
All right, Marcus, we're going to
talk about
how can people work with you? What's the easiest way people can find you right now if they want to work with you, pay you to train them?
You know what? As much as I love Facebook, the best social platform for me is Instagram. Okay. Without a doubt. Instagram is the easiest way. So DM me on Instagram, Marcus Torgerson, one word.
Yeah, I can definitely contact you. Still waiting for you to slap me on social media.